Ranier council meeting of the whole to order. First order of business is the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Then I need to have the agenda approved tonight.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we will welcome Representative Rogers. I'm going to Scrapa, your name is Scrapa?
Yep. Oh, thank you.
Come on.
Is that mic on for you?
Yep. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I was here this morning for the Coochin County meeting, Grant, Senator Hostchild, and myself. And then when we were putting our day together, I found out y'all were having your council meeting, which is awesome. And I said, I'm going to stop by and say hi and see if there's anything, what we're doing, if we can help. We got you a pier. I'm not sure when it's going to get done. So, you know, and this summer I was here several times, and I walk out on what you have now, and I'm picturing 250 feet this way and 250 feet this way, and I'm thinking to myself, that's a big pier, you know. And I find out that it's going to be for everyone.
Right.
You know, and there's going to be little docks in between. So,
Yeah.
but the only thing, and nobody's been able to answer my question, is parking. You know.
Well, we'll be parking for boats, but
Yes.
they'll come from other places on the lake, I'm assuming.
We're not, we're catering for people to come here.
We
Oh.
also do have a DNR parking lot.
We have a boat launch here, we have a little parking spot here, but we want it so people have a place to go to or come to
From the lake.
from the lake. Because they all aren't gonna just focus, come into Ranier and park their boats. They're gonna come from all over up the lake. They're gonna come from Canada, Capitola.
Yep.
Once they got access to the water, they always say they don't have a place to go to except Kettle Falls.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
So we're just trying to give them an alternate place. And
I think that's awesome. I mean, I was blessed to have this young lady during this session. She was a intern for I call him a page for the Minnesota House, and she was running errands for us. And she came and introduced herself to me, and I can't remember her name.
Maddie. Is it Maddie?
Maddie? Yeah.
Madison?
Yeah, Madison. Yeah. Just a great gal. And I asked her, so what do you think of the beer? I don't know. You know, and it was really cool because I told her what I thought. You know, it'd be kind of cool if you could walk out on the end of that pier at night and look at the northern lights, and you don't have to have permission. It's yours. It's everyone's. You can put your chair out there and just veg out and look. You know, so I thought maybe at some point when it starts or when it's done, I would love to come back here and see it and enjoy it. I don't spend enough time on Rainy. I've guided a few trips on Rainy Lake, mostly in Canada, and then come back across. We rented a houseboat with 14 of us, but it was, how do I say it? The more and more that I hang out in the district that I represent, the more and more I find out how unique everyone is. This summer I spent a little bit of time at the Cantilever, and the vibe I got when I was in the Cantilever was like, this is like a 612 place, you know, like a metro area. And then I really was like, and everyone loved it. People were just hanging out there, relaxed, and I'm like, what a great opportunity to find this. And then I'm in Ely, and I'm talking to my friends, and they're like, you gotta go to the Cantilever. You know, and I'm like, really? So y'all have something really cool going, I think. I mean, I'm a little bit I hang out, and this summer, thank you a million times, Jennifer, for letting me walk with you in the parade of my dog.
We appreciated you coming.
Yeah, but I mean, my dog, she is so cool. No leashes.
Well, the other thing they're missing here, like now this time of the year, we have 4 or 5 feet of snow, and that hill over there across the street would be just covered with snow machines.
Yes.
But we're losing out on that
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no snow, trail runs right up down the road.
So I've been asked, how are we the state, going to help people?
Yeah, it's almost like a national disaster.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now I feel bad for the resorts and people that rely on that, the gas stations, the bars. So I mean, they always worry about down south and stuff, but this is actually a disaster for us.
They all come up here because they don't have it there, so it's something they're used to. So I used to rent snowmobiles from 1995 to 2011 or 12. And I went through 2 of these years in a row, almost 3, where there was no snow. And I was just torn, like, why am I doing this? It's like, 1 year is bad, 2 was just like, this is just crazy. What are you doing, you know? But at the same time, it's who we are, what we are. Some of these folks, I look at what could the state have done for me when I was there, because no one did anything,
Right.
you know. And it's kind of one of those, well, it's business. But we also did this last session. We had a bill where we helped businesses that were affected by the fire and the flood, mainly the fires and COVID, where I think it's a $50,000 grant to businesses that could show that in Cooch, Lake, St. Louis, and Cook counties, and Lake of the Woods. They had their special. Theirs was separate from us. But our bill, if you could show you lost a lot of money, we wrote a bill in the tax bill to help you. So whether we can do that this session, obviously Grant and I work well together. Senator Hochschild, sorry, Grant. We'll figure something out if it's needed. I've had many businesses come to me and say, we're just in a bad place. You know, something they didn't anticipate. The grocery store owners are calling me saying,
Yes.
all the resorts and everyone that used to buy stuff aren't buying it. Our numbers are down. You know, so it's cumulative. It's not just the ones that we think of. Right. It actually goes way down into our communities. So we'll see what we can do. You know, so and this session is not a policy session supposed to be, or last session was a policy session. We're going to do, hopefully, there's some wood around here. We're going to try to do a bonding bill this year. And you guys have an ask in 231 or how much?
It's like, was it 200,000 and then we are, we're matching?
Yeah.
For our maintenance building?
Yeah, for the maintenance building. Yeah. And when I'm asked, you know, you got to pick a project. You know, the people that you know, we have to concentrate on one, and I go, one? Come on, guys. The last session, we did well. Grant and I, we did really well. We took care of a lot of good things. So we're going to work together again, and we'll find a way. But when I tell my staff, so if I pick Ranier for $200,000, I'm done? Well, and I'm like, no, come on, really? Well, and I'm like, this 200 means more to a community than 5 million does to Minneapolis. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I'm more about helping the people than look what I got. You know, how is this going to help you guys? You know, and the mayor, I think the mayor was the one that came down and talked to us.
Oh,
You
it's
know.
very needed because we went from 90 people to 600 people, and we just don't have the facilities to
No.
take care of the equipment that we have now.
Right.
And we like to buy equipment, we have to have to have a place to maintain it, house it.
And to
The guy that
do,
wants to sit behind you, so you better.
yeah, well, to do everything all at once is daunting. To buy the equipment and do the storage. So if anyone can help a little,
That's it.
then it makes the rest palatable. Because obviously your tax base increased, so you can get more. But at the same time, you don't want to punish people, in my opinion. Sorry. I try to keep the taxes down. So if we can help, we're going to help. I would say it's going to land high on my list. Just, I'm not saying it because I'm in front of you. It's just, it's not that big of a lift for me, but it's something that's really going to make a difference. And that's what I'm trying to do.
It will.
Yeah.
Oh, no, good time, yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions for me? You know, again, I got invited to two parties. I have to laugh. It's been a long day. But 2 different events at the same time at 6:30. And the Guides Association are having their
Yeah, you better run.
meeting to talk to them about Voyageurs National Park, and I've been on 3 different meetings with Bob. It's a national park, but geez, the state sure has a lot of interest in it, you know.
Yes.
And again, the people that are affected, right? But the people that are affected are constituents. They're people that I represent, you know. So it's like we got to find this balance, you know. And allegedly, the water belongs to the state. And I
I
want
never
to
gave up water.
no, and I want to make sure that that stays the way it is. Again, there's some waffling with the feds saying, "Well, we never gave our rights up," you know, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go," you know, because it turns out that who has the deeper pockets, you know, with lawyers and the
Well,
feds.
there's precedent up in Alaska for us.
Alaska set precedent.
And that's what you have to, we have to always call back. Shelley Patton's going to be at this meeting tonight, and Shelley's a regional director for the DNR. And she's, yeah, Shelley and I, I never would have imagined when I got elected, and I'm on the Natural Resources and Environment Committee, and I'm on the Capital Investments Committee, and I'm on the Legacy Committee. I never would imagine how many natural resources issues come through my office. I mean, Bob Myers is Assistant DNR Commissioner, Sarah Strawman, DNR Commissioner, and Shelley Patton, the District DNR. They're on speed dial. We talk all the time. We're constantly, you know, I'm always like, hey, what are you doing about these logging sales that, you know, they were being sued by anti-logging people. And then we got that resolved. And then the mushroom picking, that became a big issue on state property. And it's like, people just want to exercise their rights. And I will never forget one of the meetings I was at. Senator Bach, this is before I was a mayor. Senator Bach was at this meeting, and the DNR came in with a folder about this thick and said, we have all the information we have for a blueberry picking license, because they needed to raise money. And I'm sitting in this meeting going, you have to be kidding me, right? This is where it can go. Senator Bach did a good job of deflecting it. It's still there. I'm going to do as it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. There are certain things that just you can't control. That one, you know. But that's where they are. I'm trying to raise funds, so I have to be careful. They're good people. They're great people. I like working with them. But at the same time, what do the people want? What do the constituents want? So, any other questions for me? Yeah.
I'm just always concerned about unfunded mandates and what could be coming towards us this next session that we don't know about, that's going to cost cities money to comply with.
Well,
We'll have to see.
a lot of them will tell you that they increased your LGA, so you don't have to worry about that. Kidding.
All right.
Yeah. I right now, I don't think there's a big push for new stuff. I think some of the things they're talking about is assisted suicide. trying to legalize that, things in that realm.
Okay.
I don't know anything right offhand that they've been really tight-lipped. Obviously, we're in a trifecta. Us Republicans, literally, the only power we have is on the bonding bill. So how we use that, and then they're talking about if they have a cash bill, they don't need but the $2.6 billion surplus is going to be spent in the future because they're going to be short in the future. So that money's going to be in the future spent. And the new forecast comes out in February, and there might be $100 million here or there. So there'll be some unencumbered dollars, but not a whole lot. Yeah, it's so weird. $100 million, not a lot. And sorry, it's just, when I was mayor of Ely, $40,000 was a big lift. And now when I'm in the legislature, it's just $100 million. And I don't mean to diminish it. It's just when you're on capital investments and you have $235 million a day they're asking for, you just kind of just get used to big numbers. And I appreciate you guys coming down to that meeting and for the ask. It was very, very interesting because I had like 12 or so projects in the district, and some of the representatives were like, "What's with the deal?" And I'm like, "Welcome to northeastern Minnesota. That's what we do. I mean, we're here for you. We serve you guys. Most of what you want is for you. Making sure the roads are safe, making sure the trails are built, making sure there's somewhere for you all to be. But your unfunded mandates, yes, I'm with you on that every time. And if there is one that we don't get, please contact us. I mean, I feel pretty safe speaking for Grant. We both feel the same about this sort of thing. Again, it's easy to work with him, for me, real easy. Anything else?
Come back and see us in August. Bring your dog.
Yeah, yes. Is that when the parade is again?
I'll send you an email.
Second weekend in August.
Awesome. What was really good were those cold beverages across the street with all the Canadians. The Canadian group, that's pretty cool. Oh, by the way,
The backpackers.
the bridge.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard any more on the bridge?
No.
Okay, just so you
Yeah, it's
know,
really tight.
just so you know, Eric
John.
Johnson spoke to me. I got my word into the DNR. I'm trying to express as good as I can to the DNR that we don't want bigger piers to hold more water back. We would like if the Canadians would take some of the riprap. If you want to put a pier, take the riprap out and let more water flow, that's okay. So we don't have such high water in the spring. That's Bob Myers, the Assistant DNR Commissioner, knows that I want to have an update. Because right now the DNR is our only solid link that I have access to on this issue. So I've not heard anything. So if you know anything more, please let me know if you hear something. The bridge over at I Falls, January 30th is a meeting at Rainy Lake First Nation. I went to the first meeting and chatted with them. It would be nice if we could get a bridge across, a different bridge than what's there, so there's no toll, which both governments would have to pay at some point, and help buy out the bridge that's there, which is just part of the cost of the bridge. That's going to be probably the path of least resistance if we do that. So that's something we're having conversations about. But still, most of the locals bought 86,000 passes to cross the bridge, at the lower rate. Mm-hmm. So, right.
When you say both governments, are you talking city of National Fall or state of Minnesota?
State of Minnesota. The state and the federal government
Ontario.
and the province of Ontario, but the country of Canada, it's going to come down to a Canada to federal. It's because it's the border, eh? You know, it's going to be the country of Canada, the country of the United States of America. Our federal people on both sides are going to try to work through this to get it built. And Dwayne Hill, MnDOT commissioner, was at the meeting, sitting there, listening. They had the provincial person at the meeting. So we're all there. It was very good. I thought it was a good meeting because everything got laid out. And if anybody doesn't know, that bridge, Canada Customs, doesn't pay rent. That's part of the bridge. And the company owns the bridge and they have to let them stay there. And they clean it and they do everything there. So it's kind of like, so my first thought was, hey, how much do they pay? Does that help? They're like, they don't pay anything. What do you mean they don't pay anything? That was part of the deal. Mm-hmm. So the deal went with the deal. So at some point, to me, it's just not fair to charge either country, people, citizens to go across. It's just, there's something wrong with it. And the little bit that they charged before, most people tolerated, but now it hurts. Now it's not fair. So what we do next, I will be an advocate to try to get I will work towards a new bridge so we don't have to deal with this or fix this, buy them out, do whatever we need to do so that we can get away from this part. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Anyone back here? You're good? All right. Thank you. No. Thank you. Good meeting you all.
See you in August.
Yes, sir. Keep in touch. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you. You're right, it's going to get cold this weekend.
All right, moving on. Recommend the 12/19/23 regular council meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor? Recommend approving December 2023 claims list.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
Got a motion or a recommendation and a second, all in favor? To recommend accepting account balances and financial statements as of 12/31/2023.
Motion to accept the account balances and financial statements of 12/31/23.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor? To recommend designation of the city attorney, Freiberger, Buchanan, Smith, and Frederick.
I'll make a motion to recommend the designation of city attorney Freiberger, Buchanan, Smith, and Frederick.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
To recommend designation of the official city newspaper, Rainmaker Gazette.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
To recommend designation of depositors, Bremer Bank, Border State Bank, and True Star Federal Credit Union.
Maybe we should take out the word state because the border state bank is.
Yeah, now it's just Border
just
Bank,
Border Bank.
so we can take the state out. Okay.
I'll make that recommendation.
And I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
To recommend selecting Ty Colon as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
To recommend the 2023 appointments to various committees. Do we want to read through those?
I mean, I'm content with the ones that I continue to be on.
I got it here. It's the committee of the whole. It's all the council members. Then North Kuching Sanitary Sewer District, John Bregman, and alternative is Des Wager. I'm Coochin County Development Association, Dennis Wagner. Ranier Land Use Planning Commission, Joan Kellner. Convention and Visitor Bureau, Joan Kellner. Safe Harbor, Todd Cone, Jen Laymeyer, and Cheryl. Coochin County Hazard Mitigation Committee, Ron Wilcox and Cheryl. Capital Planning Committee, Jen Laymeyer, Ron Wilcox, Cheryl, Nick, and Jen Siegert. And Coochin County Child Initiative, Joanne Kellner. And Ranier Park Planning Committee, Jen, Ron, and Cheryl. So do we want to make a recommendation to keep those as is?
I'll make that recommendation.
And I'll second that.
Got a recommendation, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
To recommend approval of resolution 2024-01 to approve electronic fund transfers.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommendation carries. To recommend not waiving the statutory tort limits on LMCIT liability coverage waiver. Is that for the liquor store?
Yep.
No, it's for the property, for the whole city.
Yeah, for the whole city. I know we always waive it.
Yeah, we don't waive it.
So we have a recommendation not to waive it.
Not to waive it.
Not to waive.
Need a second?
I'll second that.
Got a recommendation and a second not to waiver. All in favor? Recommendation carries. Jen?
I really think December went well for not having the snow that we should have had. I think sale-wise, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I also want to point out that this year's New Year's Eve sales were probably the best in the last 6 years.
Really?
So that was really
Even
awesome.
on a Sunday.
I think that long weekend really helped. Plus, a lot of other places that were open, everybody ran out to the bar at midnight. So staying open that extra hour really made a difference. So I did my best to lower the inventory a bit with what we had to work with. And a lot of people cashed out their holiday and sick at the end of the year, so. Which happens every December.
Considering no snow and stuff.
Still strong.
Everything's going pretty good.
Still
That's
strong.
only like $378.50 difference.
Yep. If you would have had snowmobiles, probably
Yeah,
would have needed it.
snowmobilers would have been.
Yeah. Well, the actual bar sales were up as far as bar itself. And the pull tabs look like they're still doing well.
Yeah.
Amazing, yes.
Anything else? Jen, well, I have a question for you. You're gonna have the cornhole with the kids outside. Is it gonna have parents around too or not?
Inside. It's inside.
Or inside?
I'm only doing the adult, it's gonna be inside here. There's the children, I don't know, did you
It's
talk?
10
The
through,
Red Club sponsored
the Red
children's
Club's doing
cornhole.
that through the chamber?
The
Or
Red
just the Red
Club's
Club?
doing it, Kim O'Loughlin and Ian Jenkins.
I just saw it on Facebook tonight, so I was just
Yeah,
curious.
but they were
how-
getting all the information. I'm gonna be out of town, otherwise I'd be helping. They got all the information, so it's gonna be a nice box day event. 'Cause we
Right.
want that for Ranier to get the advertisement for
Right.
it. But it's gonna be inside, it's not outside.
Okay,
And yes, there will be parents here, there won't be just kids running chaos, there'll be parents here organizing it. And they've done, kids helping Edith, because she hasn't done one yet, so, yeah. It should be a good time.
they're advertising real well for that.
They really are.
Everything, for all the events, it looks like it's gonna try to kick it off pretty nice. Anyway, anything else for
She's
Jen?
got the cornhole, adult cornhole tournament's gonna be here Friday night.
Right.
And
Yes,
then Saturday is food hockey,
yes.
and then Red Club sponsoring the youth.
Yeah, when they, the
cornhole
Red Cross sponsors
Saturday.
prizes and stuff for the kids under 18. That should be, I think it'll be a good turnout.
Oh, yeah, I think it will be too. Anything else for Jen? Need a recommendation to accept the operating statement.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
Got a recommendation and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's happening, gang?
How's the ice at the rink? Nothing yet?
Yep.
Kind of.
Flooded this morning.
It sounds like it'll be a good weekend for it.
Yeah, we're gonna flood twice. Friday, twice Saturday, twice Sunday. Keep going 2 times a day, as long as it stays cold.
Maybe we want to put it on Facebook too, that it's open.
Don't put nothing on Facebook yet.
I want somebody says it's ready.
Yeah, don't put nothing on there until it's ready. My phone rings every day.
Oh, yeah. I
People
see on
asking.
Facebook, they're all looking for someplace to skate. I keep laughing.
Tell them to go indoors where they got ice.
Maybe we should buy snow machines or a snow
I
maker so we can.
have a question. The trees in the park, are they going to continue doing that? Or are they
Yep.
going to stop now for the winter? Or what's
Nope,
that?
they're gonna keep going.
I just see they had slowed down, maybe just because of holidays or whatever.
Well, got sloppy there for a little while
Mhm.
again after they did the initial cut, and then I think now I don't see any snow in the forecast, so I can imagine they're probably going to be back.
And I think they're kind of leaving all that brush till the end so they can chip everything at once.
Sure. I was just wondering
Yeah.
Well, good question, because
what the time frame was on that.
6 months.
thank you for everything. That's
Anything else for Nick? I mean, it's winter, they're plowing, they're doing their thing now, first time last week.
First plow job.
Yeah, all weekend.
And more coming.
Yeah, that's
We
all
know
right.
we'll get our fair share.
We're gonna get it no matter what.
I'm gonna have a quick question. So the residents that got missed the first snowstorm, who does that? Is that the city or is that the do we still contract Travis?
No, that's just us in the county.
So just us in the county then. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good.
Anything else for Nick?
Nope.
Okay, thanks guys.
The next is the approving the ordinance of the number 166 relating to the sewer rates. I've got a question on this. It says sewer service charges shall be based upon the quality or quantity of the water used. So it's water or is it sewer? How does that work?
Well, how the sewer fees are charged is based upon how much water you use.
Okay.
So,
I was just wondering if
Yeah.
it was worded.
Yeah. So, and we had passed that last month, that
Right.
it was gonna be increased, but it was actually supposed to be an ordinance. So
Right.
that's why that's that way.
Should we talk quick about that one, the big loss we had?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think
Yeah,
that-
thank you.
Man's place?
Yeah, we had a big 400,000 gallon loss that is gonna end up being like a $7,000 water bill for the resident. We probably can't take the sewer charge off because all the water we lost. The sewer plant had called me that morning and said, you guys have a 800,000 gallon bill and it's normally 400,000. So we went through everything we possibly could. We went through cantilever because usually when we get a high bill like that, is cantilever makes a bad batch and they dump it. And then we get way more in our sewer than normal. I talked to Charles, it didn't come from him. We ran through water meters with Edith and we ended up finding out that it was a resident that had a water break under her house and it all went into her clean out through the sewer. So we get charged for the sewer on it, so we have to pay the sewer and the water. I'm just trying to think of some way the city could help her a little bit. If we can take the extra fee off that we charge, what is it, $1 something or?
Yeah, what we were talking about was, so we have to pay our falls for the water, and we have to pay
East Cooch for the sewer.
Cooch for the, or North Cooch for the sewer. So, we can't eat that, but we can, if we want, we can reduce the charge on the water to just be what we actually pay, and it would give them $400 or $500 difference,
It's not a lot,
So
but
we wouldn't lose any money, they would just be breaking even on it and
That would be
giving
a
them a little
one-shot
bit of a
deal,
break.
right? One-shot deal on that, or?
yeah.
I mean, I don't see a problem with
I
that,
don't
considering the
either.
extenuating circumstances.
I mean, if it happened to me in the city or anybody here and you come up to the city and ask to take that little charge off, I don't see it being an issue for anybody in this small community to try to help them a little bit.
Goodwill, it shows goodwill. I think we at least.
I would say,
And I talked to her and she was very understanding what happened. And she said it was their fault. And No fault in the city at all, but just to help a little bit.
They got it fixed, right?
I guess we can make a.
No, they just shut it, we just shut it off. We just turned the water off, so nothing's fixed yet, but they're not gonna be able to fix it till spring now. It's a
Yeah.
block of ice underneath the house.
As a resident, I think it would be a good okay to do that. It's not a lot of money, you're not losing any money, and they're paying a little bit less of an ouch. I mean, it's still a huge ouch. But
It's not like she
it wasn't intended to
filled up a pool.
Carol, can we make a recommendation on that and make a motion on that on Monday then? We have to have a recommendation to, how would you word it?
To discount the fee that the
Discount
city
and waive
usually
the,
Waive
charges, whatever that fee is
waive
called.
the fee or whatever
I'll put it
for
on the
that
agenda.
month or,
Yeah.
yeah. So then we vote on that on Monday. Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you.
So do we need to make that into a recommendation?
She's gonna put it on
Or
the
just put it
agenda.
I'll put it on
in
the
the agenda?
agenda for
and
next week,
just-
yeah.
So then we still need a recommendation to approve the sewer rates?
Yes.
I'll make a recommendation to approve ordinance number 166 for the sewer rates.
Second.
There's a recommendation and a second, all in favor? Recommendation carries. Now we need to talk about the recommend approving ordinance number 164, regulating short-term rental units with the attorney's suggested revision.
So this is the third draft. The second draft, we included the residents' comments.
Yeah,
And so this one came back, Jen and I and Edith had a meeting with the attorney, and she had gone through our ordinance and made few suggestions, not too many, so
We got a lot of good feedback from her in terms of what we started with was great, and she just wanted, again, as I said previously, to gather what we were hoping to accomplish as a community by doing this. And so I don't know if you've all been able to read through the third draft. I have, and someone may not feel the same, but I definitely feel like we've done a good job. If we're going to do it, we're trying to do it right, and we've incorporated a large percentage of the comments from the community
Right.
and tried to formulate that into the actual draft instead of just going forward with a wooden box and trying to get into a round hole. I think it's appropriate for Ranier, and again, you don't know if something's going to fit until you use it, so we can amend this going forward if we run into issues, but I think like this is a nice soft touch to give residents the ability if there becomes issues in the future, with
can always be
adjusted, or if there's troublesome short-term rentals. I mean, we're lucky with the people currently doing it that they seem to be good stewards of the businesses that they're running.
Right, yeah.
But that won't always be the case, as we've seen in local other communities that have issues, and this is really to help empower the people that are the neighbors that live next to that to, if there are constant issues, the city now has the legal authority to get involved and participate in revoking a permit or just figuring out who's in the community operating what. And, I don't know, is there a need to, because Dennis will he be back next week?
He will.
So I don't know, I mean, if he's thus been supportive of it, so I don't know if we can just,
If you want to move forward with the recommendation, I don't have a problem with
I
that.
don't have either. It sounded good to me.
okay.
Then we'll need a recommendation to approve.
I'll make that recommendation.
We got a recommendation in a second. All in favor? Recommendation carries. That brings us to open forum. Anything?
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion, we need a second?
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.